did design this game specially targeted towards this event. Just by a show of hands, who already have the application installed on their iOS device and Android? Okay, that's a pretty good chunk. So, for any of you who don't have it yet installed, you can just hop onto the marketplace, either iOS or Android, and just search for the word boundaries. It should possibly show up in the first or the second search result with this icon, and you can just go ahead and install the app. While we run through a very short presentation before we jump into the game demo. So yeah, briefly just covering all the things we'll be talking about. So we'll briefly introduce ourselves. I briefly told you already about what we are currently demoing today. The kind of brainstorming process that we took in order to come up with the concept. What are the challenges we basically faced along the way, and from there on we'll basically take you into the live demo of the game. So we had an 8-member team this time. As you introduced, I was the producer on the team. We have Ben, he's backstage, he's going to be directing you through the game itself. We have Alison there in that corner. We have Stephanie here in this corner. We have Peter back there and Lucian. They're going to be helping you if you have any questions or trouble installing the game or running the app. We unfortunately did not have the leisure of Scott and Brian joining us today. They're currently in Taiwan, so that's our whole team. So yeah, as you briefly mentioned that this was initially targeted towards this festival specifically. So our initial design constraints were, yes, something that can be played in the theater space and with a large audience itself. So that was our initial design constraint before even trying to brainstorm concepts that are possible in this kind of environment. So the deliverables that were laid out for us throughout the semester was that we need to deliver a fully polished game, and we were responsible for even running the game live at the festival itself. Our group was basically one of the largest groups at the EDC. We had 8 members in the team, so we had trouble even with brainstorming. So we adopted quite different strategies. We eventually came up with 40 different concepts that could be potentially played here. We started a divide and conquer approach where we teamed up a programmer and an artist and consolidated these ideas further, and eventually went on to pitch 3 of these ideas to our client. And the final one that we selected was called Boundaries, that we are demoing. It's basically a territory expansion game. So all you'll be doing is you'll be using your mobile device as a game controller. The game will be running live on the screen, so make sure that you are hooked up to a Wi-Fi, 3G or a 4G connection. You will be divided into 4 teams, so you will be primarily working with your team in order to make your territory the strongest. And the biggest challenge probably was to come up with a game mechanic that is easily understood, it's fun to play, and makes a meaningful impression on people from really wide background as well. So the 3 game components we had majorly was our mobile application that you guys already have installed. There's a web server that relays all the information from these mobile to the actual game and the actual game itself. We had a lot of challenges along the way, not just in terms of design and implementation, but even much more. But the main thing was that designing something for such a massive scale was probably not something that past projects at the EDC have underwent. So that was one of the biggest challenges. How do you design something that appeals to such a wide demographic? Essentially, anybody who's coming for the Game for Change Festival is potentially our player. So we need to keep that in mind. Also, having a good interest curve was the key here, because in such audience interaction games, if you lose the interest of even half of the audience, it pretty much declines the rate at which your game plays well. So that was also one challenge that we faced. Not to mention, you're supposed to make a game that's supposed to be played by 200 people, so how are you going to play test that? So we did have a lot of issues with playtesting on such a large scale. The biggest we hit was 75 people. So we have a good amount of analysis and data looking back as to how this game plays, what kind of a reaction players give when they're working together, when they're working alone. So we did a good amount of research, but it was definitely a big challenge getting all those people under one roof and playing the game. So these are again some instructions for actually installing the app. So we'll give you guys like 30 seconds. After that, we'll jump into a quick demo of the game. We now have Ben on stage. He'll walk you through the actual demo of the game.
You guys good? Could you open up the app? I'll take you through the opening sequence of it. Make sure you find the microphone on your device. I know on iPads it's up here, but most of you, I'm assuming, are going to be using cell phones, and the microphone on a cell phone is down here. Anyway, get to the screen with a big red button on it, and I will take you through the calibration sequence. Basically, just do exactly what I do. Hold the big red button and... You can get louder than that. Come on, we can't be the only person singing. Alright, and next you do low pitch, the same exact thing. And then we're going to have to divide you guys up into 4 different territories. You can't really see because of the lights, but could you, Lucy and Peter, and them help me out a little bit? The people in the front row right here, could you make them choose red? People over there, you're going to be blue. Yeah, over there's blue. People over there, you're green. And the people in the back, and if there's anybody up on, I can't even see up there, you're going to be magenta. Which? Yeah, you guys are blue over there.
Red.
The bottom left one. This one right here. And you guys are over there, you're green. What color are you?
We're blue.
Green? Purple.
Purple. Purple in there. Now you can yeah, come over here and sit. Whatever, which one do you choose? Yeah, just sit over there, though. You guys chosen?
Yeah!
You guys ready to play?
Yeah!